Okay, so we're doing what now? Okay, in the key of F.
I meant to get another one, but look, just in case. I mean, I have this one.
I like those bells in there. That sounded really cool. I've noticed that over the years, Dory.
Good morning. Please hold on. Yeah, that's fine. Good morning. Please stand and join us in singing Angels We Have Heard on High. 1, 2, 3, 4. Please be seated. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Unity of Stuart. I'm making myself one note so I don't forget something. Give me 1 second. Because you know what happens if I don't write it down. Hi. Happy Advent. This is the second Sunday in Advent, and we are here for our Sunday morning celebration service, and we hear the voices, the joyous voices coming in and coming together, and that's how it's been all morning. And there's still some people just coming in, and that is wonderful. And Jerry, I'm getting a little bit of feedback, I think. Welcome to all in the room and to all who are watching on YouTube and Facebook. And we generally have Lana and Jess is in the building. I didn't see Phil yet. Phil, you were sitting down in here? All right, well, Jess and Phil and Pam and Ellen and Ann. And on Facebook, let's see who we have here. Pam and Ellen. Doubly. All right, here we go. Okay, I can't see who's on. Hold on a minute. All right, I can't see. Hi, those of you who are on Facebook. Maybe I'll see you when I sit down and figure out what I did wrong this morning. As always, we have with us the Joyful Noise Band and Choir, and I'm delighted to welcome Tracy back to our band. And also his beautiful wife, Rhonda. They are back from Vermont, and we'll be here until May, so we welcome Tracy back into our Joyful Noise Band. Am I still have feedback? Yep. A little bit more feedback, I think. Hello, 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 hello. All right, and now's the time when we welcome first-timers. If you are here for the first time in the sanctuary and you feel comfortable, still more feedback, Jerry, please raise your hand if you're here for the first time. I don't think oh, yeah, oh, that's right. Cher is here for the first time. All right. And that's Ricky handing out a welcome packet, also Chuck. So there's a lot of things in that welcome packet share, and one of those things is a prayer intention or request form. If you take that, fill it out, and put it in our prayer box out in the foyer. We will hold you in prayer here, and we will send your prayer off to Silent Unity, where they will hold it in prayer as well. Jerry, still hearing some feedback. If you, what else is in there? There's a form. If you fill it out, you can go on our email list, and if you bring it back to the podium, Sue is at the podium today, and she will give you a gift. Usually I say there's three things. Information about the Unity movement and Unity is in there. So we invite you to look at all of that. For those of you in the room, if you would like to pick up a welcome packet or two to share with a friend, so it'd be easy for them to see what Unity is all about, please feel welcome to do that. If you are a first-timer on YouTube and Facebook, you can email Eva in the office at admin@unityofstuart.org, and she will be delighted to send you a welcome packet. So if you'd like to do that, please do. Most importantly, we'd like everyone to know that Unity of Stuart is a welcoming, affirming, positive path of spirituality. Everyone is welcome here. Everyone is lifted up here. There are no exceptions. Thank you for honoring us with your presence today. So we have hospitality, as we always do. Jerry, I'm still hearing some feedback. Is it me? Am I too close to something? There's definitely feedback going on. Everybody's muted? All right. Well, I guess you'll keep working on it until you figure it out. But while we're all figuring that out, I'd like to introduce you to two people who are doing the very best work in Martin County and the Treasure Coast to help house homeless families. And they have brought a little bit of fellowship and some coffee for us today. So I'd like to bring them both up here, but before you get up, am I bringing both of you up? Yeah, okay. So they represent Family Promise, and Cher Fisher is the Director of Development and Community Engagement. She has the beautiful flower dress on. And Madeline Bozone is the Executive Director, and they're going to say a few words. Come on up, look. Come on up, gals. I believe so. Let's find out. Maybe it's muted. Jerry's busy trying to find the handheld, Jerry?
That's okay. Now I think it's working now. Okay. I don't know. Can you hear me? Yes. Yes? Okay. Well, thank you for having us here. And I have to say, every time I come here, you feel the love and the Unity of Stuart. And what we need at Family Promise, you all provide to us so well, is community. And I love that Unity is in community. And you all embrace the families. You volunteer. Roberta Scott leads the host coordinator. So thank you to Roberta Scott. So well. You help other smaller churches who need that help, that are actually hosting the families that stay overnight in the churches by providing meals. The bed race team that you all have together is always so much fun. And we just share, and I just wanted to come to say thank you, and that's why we're providing the fellowship. And just thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We're so grateful for all that you do for us, for your prayers, for your love, and you can just feel the positive energy every time we're here, and you all are a light, and thank you for being light for us.
Thank you, Natalie.
I would like to share a story, if I may, of when I first met Roberta and how she impacted me and therefore you all. We were at an overnight shelter when the weather gets below 40 degrees. Our homeless have nowhere to go, so we were at an overnight shelter. I was concerned about staying all night. You know, in the still of the night, 3 in the morning, it's very, very quiet. And there was a man there that came up to us at 3 in the morning, and he said, I wasn't always like this. I wasn't always homeless. I had a blue-collar job. My girlfriend got into trouble. Then I got into trouble. It was a downward spiral. But I want you to know, I wasn't always like this. And that moment brought home to me how critical it is to respect those experiencing homelessness or issues. They're souls, they're human beings, and they want to be recognized and acknowledged as human beings and souls, and I know that's what you all do, that's what Roberta does, and I will never forget that moment. So I just wanted to share that with you.
Thank you very much. Jerry, should I be doing something else? Test 1, 2, check 1, 2. All right, we're going to just soldier on, yeah? All right. Our announcements this morning. Oh, we have prayer chaplains on duty, and this morning we have Sue and we have Pat, and they are here to pray with you. If you have anything that you would like prayer support with, any joy, any challenge, anything at all, Pat and Sue would be honored to pray with you and to hold your prayer in the highest confidence. And we also have 2 other ways for you to get some prayer. You can email us at prayer@unityofstuart.org, and we will put you in our prayer box. Alternatively, or as well as, you can call Silent Unity Prayer Line, and they will put you in the prayer box there at Silent Unity. And they will also, if you like, send you a prayer. So we invite you to do all of that. So I just want to mention that in Safe Space, Eva brought everything from all of you who donated to Safe Space this past week. Safe Space is the domestic violence shelter. And you donated over $600 in gift cards and a variety of toys and games, and they were very appreciative. So thank you, everybody, for that. And we have our holiday sale going on in the gift store, so you can peruse that if you're looking for some, not quite last-minute gifts, but middle-of-the-minute gifts, and you can look there. And our Christmas Coffee House with Connected Souls is coming up on December 14th. That's this Thursday. And tickets are available right now. The doors are open at 6:30. The music begins at 7 p.m. There will be, of course, all Christmas music, sweet treats, and so many door prizes. And once again, I have to recognize Rose Peterson, who has been out pounding the pavement. So we have a lot of door prizes. So come, and for the minimal amount of $15, you can hear beautiful music, get into more of the holiday season, and be blessed, perhaps, by a door prize. Anything else, Rini?
Your ticket automatically qualifies you for those door prizes, too.
Indeed.
So we have so many, every few songs we're going to have to make some drawings. But we are so excited. We have a rehearsal today. We have our last one Wednesday, and we hope to see you all there. I do recommend you get your ticket in advance, but if you hear of people who don't have their ticket after today, you can buy them at the door. So keep pounding and hounding those neighbors and friends.
All right. And here are our other services. December 24th, of course, is Christmas Eve. We're having one service. That's in the morning at 10:30. And that's going to be our regular Christmas Eve candlelighting sacred extravaganza. And so we invite you to that. And also on December 31st is our burning bowl ceremony, again in the morning. And that's when you release the old by writing a letter and consigning it to the fire. And we'll go outside and do that during service. And then we come back in and we write a letter to God, from God, to ourselves, to higher power, whatever that works for you, inviting in what we want to come in the new year. So come and join us for that. That's on December 31st. And then for special services, finally, is January 7th. We do a white stone service, for those of you that may not be familiar with that. That's when we do a little bit of a sermon and then a meditation about inviting a spirit to give you either a new name or a new value or a new way of being in the world for 2024. So come and join us for all of those. That's not what I wanted next. Oh, look at the bulletin board, the newsletter, everywhere around the church to see all the things that are going on at Unity of Stuart. And now I invite you to join me in a dedication. I'm going to invite Dave to come up. He's going to light the candles for us today. The first candle Dave is going to light is our Christ candle, which reminds us to always embody Christ consciousness. And then he will light the candle of faith and hope, which was the first Sunday in Advent. And then finally for today, he'll light the candle for peace. And so I invite you to join today as we dedicate this service to peace beyond all human understanding. Thank you, Dave. As the Advent journey continues, I seek to embody peace. No matter what might be happening around me, I can rise above that which troubles and distracts me, all that takes my attention away from my spiritual life and my relationship with God. Peace is always mine, an aspect of my divine identity. When peace feels far away, I take it as a cue to center myself in spirit. I return to the practices that calm my mind and open my heart. As I relax and enter the quiet, I touch the peace and perfection of spirit and claim that peace as my own. Returning to activity, I carry peace with me. I bring harmony to my interactions, calm to my reactions, and tranquility to every corner of my life. I won't just be peaceful, I will be peace itself. And I invite you into a deep breath as we settle in. And as we co-create this peace together, this peace in this room, this peace in the world, I invite you to just let go anything that isn't peace. And let peace be who you are, right here and now. As my Advent journey continues, I embody peace, and so it is. Amen. And let's affirm that together. As my Advent journey continues, I embody peace. And let's take a deep breath and see if we can make that be true in each one of us as we affirm one more time together. As my Advent journey continues, I embody peace, and so it is. Amen. And let's sing as we prepare for meditation. And we breathe. And I invite you into those 3 deep breaths, these breaths that bring you back to center, inviting you to relax your body, releasing any tension that the body may be holding. And I invite you to be here now, dropping your attention from your head to your heart, from thoughts to the heart of the matter, the heart of spirit. Breathing into the very depth of your heart, your being. I invite you to be open to peace. In this time of sacred possibility, I invite you to embody peace. And I invite you to allow the words you hear to become the words of your own mind and heart this morning. I embody peace. I release the idea that there is separation between God and me, between spirit and me, between higher power and me, between the infinite divine and me, all the same names for the one power and presence. I embody peace. I am an expression of the divine. I allow this truth to move in and through me. I am an expression of the divine, and I embody peace. Spirit is in me, and I am in spirit, and I embody peace. I embrace all of the attributes of Advent: hope, faith, love, joy, and peace. Another deep breath, if you will. And as we move into the quiet, remember, I am an expression of the divine, and I embody peace. In the quiet. And once more, a big deep breath, if you will. And I invite you to bring into your awareness all those who are on our prayer list here at Unity of Stuart, and all of those that are in your mind and heart this morning. And if you'd like to, speak their names out into this holy space, the space of healing and of peace. And releasing all into the care and keeping of the one. I invite you to join me in praying this in the name and the nature, the light, the love, the peace of the one power and one presence. And so it is. Amen. Let's sing.
Good morning. Good morning. The song I'm about to sing is one that was made famous by Alabama, and it's one of my favorite songs to sing because I so relate to it. It's called Angels Among Us, and if you've ever encountered an angel on earth, you will relate to this song, and if you have not yet, be open, because it could happen. Good. All right. 1, 2. I was walking home from school on a cold winter day. I took a shortcut through the woods and I lost my way. It was getting late and I was scared and alone. Then a kind old man took my hand and led me home. Mama couldn't see him, but he was standing there. And I knew in my heart he was the answer to my prayer. Oh, I believe there are angels among us, sent down to us from somewhere up above. They come to you and me in our darkest hours to show us how to live, to teach us how to give, to guide us with the light of love. When life held troubled times, had me down on my knees, there's always been someone to come along and comfort me. A kind word from a stranger, and lend a helping hand. A phone call from a friend, just to say, I understand. Now ain't it kind of funny, at the dark end of the road, someone lights the way just to sing a ray of hope. Oh, I believe there are angels among us, sent down to us from somewhere up above. They come to you and me in our darkest hours to show us how to live, teach us how to give, to guide us with the light of love. They wear so many faces, show up in the strangest places, grace us with their mercies in our time of need. Whoa, I believe there are angels among us, sent down to us from somewhere up above. They come to you and me in our darkest hours, show us how to live, teach us how to give, guide us with the light of love. Guide us with the light of
Thank you, Rini. Thank you. Joyful noise. Whew. Look around the room. See the angel among you. See the angels. They're here. They're all here. So enough about angels for a moment. We're going to talk about Jesus. This is a good time of year to talk about Jesus and to talk about how our New Thought Unity teachings deals with the myth and the story and what we embrace during this time of year. So I believe Jesus was an enlightened teacher, an enlightened rabbi who found the divine within him. And having said that, you don't have to believe what I believe about Jesus. I'm not here to teach you a particular brand of religion, mostly. I'm not here to teach you what is right and what is wrong, or that Jesus was born of the Virgin Mary over 2,000 years ago, or he wasn't, or that Jesus is God, or he's not, or he's an ascended master, or doesn't exist, as many claim, or that he did, as I believe. What I'm about, what my teaching is, to explore with you how to be a beacon of light and love and hope and faith and peace and joy. Not just at Christmas time, but in every day of your life. How do we embody that Christ consciousness in every day? And as I said last week, and I'll probably say again next week, this is a powerful time, this time of Advent, when we celebrate the coming of the Christ, the coming of that rebirthed Christ in each one of us. This is a powerful time to dig deep and find out what you are made of and to act from what that is, that Christ consciousness, that divinity that resides in each and every one of us. And just maybe, Jesus walked on water. Maybe he fed the 5,000 with a fish and a couple of loaves of bread. Maybe he created an energy field where people could enter into that field and heal themselves. I choose to believe that that is possible. And I invite you to decide what this all means for you in these stories of Christmas. I'm fascinated by these stories of Christmas, whether they actually happened or not. What I care about is that we learn from them. We learn from them. What I care about is we use the life of Jesus and the things that Jesus has been told to has been said to have done and use them to make meaning in our own lives. How do we get as close as possible to that path? So I care about me and you using this season to level up our spiritual practice and to dive deep into faith, into hope, into peace, into joy, and into love. I want to share with you an acronym that I came across just this past Friday. This lesson was done, not for nothing. And I had my final draft was almost done, and I was in a class. You're going to hear more about this next year. I'm in a class with other Unity colleagues led by a Unity minister called, I got it. Give me a second. It's done by the Integral Christian Network, and it's about mystical meditation. And what mystical meditation is embodying what wants to be known instead of what we already know. It's about putting aside our reason and all the things that tell us I can't do this, or that's not true, or the world is in chaos, or whatever it is, and sit in a meditation to embody and to channel through each one of us what wants to be known. So that's that class. Again, you'll be hearing more about that in the new year. And so the instructor, the facilitator, Shara Mashinska. Hi, Shara. I know you're not watching, but hi. She's a minister in Tustin, California. She said, we're living in a VUCA world. VUCA. Sophia, you can put that slide up for those online. In a VUCA world. And so the V stands for volatile, then uncertain, and then complex, and then ambiguous. How does that feel, right? Right? Does that seem like it hits the nail on the head, right? So I had never heard of that. She said it, and I didn't interrupt the class. I looked it up afterwards. She said, we're living in a VUCA world. And I looked it up, and that term was first coined by the U.S. Army War College in 1987. And that term was used to describe the challenges that leaders faced after the Cold War. It was also used to describe the rise of new threats, cyber terrorism, cyber warfare, and terrorism. So I was starting to think about this. Okay, I'm speaking about peace. And we're living, people will say, we're living in a VUCA world, and I think we could all agree to some extent. It feels that way. So how do we switch that? Right? When we dwell in that world, right? When we dwell in seeing the world this way, we begin to internalize those states of being. Well, I'll speak for myself. I begin to internalize those states of being, and maybe you do too. However, we have tools, yes? Here, we know that Spirit is present no matter what it looks like in the outer, or no matter what it feels like in the inner. We know here that in every moment we have access to Spirit. We have access to that which we call God. And we can use our minds and our hearts to attune ourselves to that power and the presence and choose a state of being. Choose a state of being. We can go to our hearts where Spirit dwells. And we can enter into that refuge that is constant and strong. And the only reason why we don't feel it is because we forget it. So we are called to remember that power and that presence. That place where we meet with oneness and we get that sacred message that all is well, despite what is going on in the outer. It's a place where we hang our hat of faith and hope and peace and joy and love. It's all good things to say, right? So how do we activate? How do we activate all of those things? Well, I came up with the spiritual VUCA. The first one is vision, right? We activate our vision in the spite of the volatility. We activate our vision and become visionaries. When we want to dive into the abyss, or when we can't help but dive into the abyss, we activate our vision. And then we remember our unity. We remember our unity with each other, and that we're all made of the same things. We're all the same underneath our skin. And when we're in unity with each other, uncertainty dispels. And then we activate our compassion around the complex issues, not just in our lives, but in the world. We activate our compassion for all living human beings, including ourselves. And then finally, we seek attunement with Spirit in every moment, so that the things that seem ambiguous, confusing, we attune with Christ consciousness, with God consciousness, and this is the way we begin to embody peace. Therein lies the peace that surpasses all understanding, even if it doesn't make sense. Peace that passes all understanding. In Mark chapter 6, verse 47, 49, and 51, skipping one, it says, "The boat was out on the sea, and he was alone on the land." So the boat was in the sea with the disciples in it, and Jesus was alone on the land. And then all of a sudden, the disciples turn around and they look and they see Jesus walking on the sea. And they got afraid. They thought it was a ghost, Scripture says, and they cried out. But Jesus immediately says, "Do not be afraid. Take heart. It is I." And then he got in the boat with them, and the wind ceased, and they were utterly astounded. You know, every time I hear that, how astounded the disciples were, I go, where have they been? What haven't they seen? But they keep being astounded, right? So it's like us, right? Sometimes we'll get a miracle, we'll see a miracle, we get intuition, we act in a certain way, and things get better. But sometimes then we forget, right? We go, oh, that was a fluke. Oh, no, that was a fluke, right? So if we look at this, That's what it could mean to us to remember that we are like the disciples feeling alone in a boat on a rocky sea. The boat is our life. The rocky sea is our life. And we're out there doing our own thing and the wind's blowing and we get afraid. The doctor may have seen something that might be serious, or we look at our bank balance and it's lower than we might expect, or we have situational challenges in work, or the person that I love says they're done or they aren't interested, or we look at the state of the world. We look at the chaos in the world and we become despairing. And I'll just speak for myself. I'll get afraid. And I sometimes cry out, mostly internally. And then whenever I do, I remember, because I've done this work and you have done this work, we can remember that we have spiritual tools to use in every moment of fear and anxiety. And stop battling the wind and the storm by ourselves. And remember the presence of God. For me, that always begins with a deep breath. Remember the Christ presence. And when I do that, when I take that breath, and I remember the Christ of me, it's like Jesus saying, be not afraid. Be not afraid. It's me. I'm here. Of course, Jesus always represents the divine. That divine that's always available. There's a story I found that I want to tell you now. It's written by a man named Donald Tonday. I couldn't find anything about Donald online, but it's a good story, so I'm going to share it with you. Many years ago, my wife and I and our 3 children were in France for the Christmas holidays. The 5 days leading up to Christmas were an increasingly depressing series of minor disasters. On Christmas Eve, we checked into a dingy hotel in Nice with no holiday cheer in our hearts. It was raining and cold when we went out for dinner, and we ended up in this drab little restaurant, too tired and miserable to search any further. Inside, only 5 tables were occupied, 2 German couples, 2 French couples, an American soldier sitting by himself. In the corner, a piano player listlessly played Christmas music. Everyone sat in silence. Only the sailor, the soldier, seemed happy, writing a letter as he ate. My wife ordered the meal in French, and when the meal came, it was the wrong thing. I gave my wife a hard time, and I could see her shutting down even further. And on our right, one of the German wives began scolding her husband. And on our left, the French father scolded his son for some minor mistake, and the boy began to cry. We were all interrupted by a blast of cold air as a thoroughly drenched elder woman who was outside trying to sell flowers came in. And she made the rounds with her basket of flowers, but she didn't have any takers. So wearily she sat down and said to the waiter, "A bowl of soup. I haven't sold any flowers all afternoon." And then to the piano player she said, "Can you imagine, Joe? Soup on Christmas Eve?" And then he just simply pointed to his empty tip jar. Now, the young soldier got up after finishing his meal, walked over to the flower woman, and picked up 2 small corsages and said, "Merry Christmas. How much are these?" And she told him 2 francs. So he handed her a 20-franc note and said, "The rest is my Christmas present to you." And the soldier, the man in the story says, walked to our table, handed one of the corsages to my wife, and left. Everyone stopped eating for a moment, and for a moment the restaurant was completely silent. Then Christmas suddenly bloomed like wildflowers. The flower woman jumped up, started dancing and waving the 20-franc note, shouted to the piano player, "Joseph, my Christmas present, and you shall have half so you can celebrate too." And the piano player began playing White Christmas, and my wife, waving her corsage in time to the music, began to sing. Our children joined in. The Germans jumped up on their chairs and began singing in German. The waiter embraced the flower woman. The French boy climbed into his father's lap, and both joined in with the swelling international choir. The Germans ordered wine for everyone, delivering it themselves, accompanied by hugs and Christmas greetings. One of the French families followed suit with champagne and kisses. The owner of the restaurant began singing the first Noel, and everyone joined in, half of us with tears in our eyes. And people hearing this out in the street began to come in and join in until the place was full of people, singing and eating and enjoying. Just minutes earlier, a place and a group of people were spending a miserable evening in the same room. It ended up with everyone sharing one of the very best Christmas Eves they'd ever experienced, all because one young soldier held the Christmas spirit in his soul. Kind of an old story, kind of a simple story. You've probably heard a story like that in your life, maybe from this very pulpit, this very platform, right? And these are always very deep teaching stories that it takes just one of us to show up with vision, with unity, with compassion, and with attunement to change an experience, to change our own experience or to change the experience of people around us, to overcome any chaos that is happening, any confusion, any uncertainty, any volatility. You know, we can have a lot of stress, not just on this season. And stress happens for me mostly, and maybe for you, when I forget who I am and I forget my attunement with Spirit. When I forget that I have the power of peace within me in every single moment. We each have that power to go back to peace in the midst of chaos. If we are willing to accept that gift and to access that gift. One of my deepest heart's desires is to be at peace in all circumstances. Now, I don't know if I'm ever going to accomplish that, if that will ever happen in a total way for me, and yet that is my deepest desire. That's what I work for, to embody peace, to be peace in the face of anything that's happening. And as that has been one of my deepest desires, I get closer and closer and closer to it as I activate my attunement with Spirit, as I remember who I am in prayer, in meditation, in reading, in conversations. When we immerse ourselves in the power and the presence of God consciousness, we will find peace. All we have to do, sounds simple, maybe not easy, is to allow the divine presence to join us wherever we are, in the boat, in the restaurant, in our families, and in the world, to remember who we are. And in Philippians chapter 4, verse 7, it says, "And the peace of God, which passes all understanding, will keep your hearts and minds in Christ Jesus." For me, that's a little bit like the chicken and the egg. What comes first, right? What comes first? My belief in that which I call God, my belief that I carry that divine presence within me in every area of my life. Doesn't matter. Whatever works for you in your life, that's where you go to remember the Christ presence in you is where you can tap into that and embody peace. And when some things happen, and they will, you say, well, where is God in this situation? How can there be any good, any blessing? How can I access peace in this situation? And then we just go attune ourselves. It's a mystery, folks. It really is. There's no 5-step process, although I'll probably talk about a 5-step process next year. But there's only one step. There's one step. It's attune with Spirit in every moment. When I'm triggered, when you're triggered, when I'm anxious, when you're anxious, sad, fearful. Remember, Spirit is at the center of our beings, and we can access that Spirit, that one power, and that one presence in every single moment. With peace, we let things happen. We don't make them happen. When we are connected to the divine presence, we can give and receive love very, very, very easily. Last week I mentioned something that I listened to. I listened to a meditation last week. Sophia, you can bring up that other slide for the folks online. And it was help. When we're in that space, we can just simply say help, which stands for hello, eternal loving presence. Help. Hello, eternal loving presence. I invite you to just quietly take a deep breath and just say that to yourself. Hello, or out loud. Hello, eternal loving presence. Drop your attention to your heart. Remember where that eternal loving presence lives. This is a tool we can all use. So I invite you, in closing, to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let my words be yours. Hello, eternal loving presence. I breathe in peace, and I relax and let go. I breathe in peace, and I remember that whatever seems like a problem has no eternal significance. I breathe in peace, and remember I am one with the infinite peace of God. Another deep breath. And you can open your eyes and return your attention to this room. So once again, this week I invite you to invite God into your boat. Invite that Christ consciousness into your boat, into your life, into your world. You can use a spiritual VUCA, vision, unity, compassion, and attunement, and nurture that awareness so that you can experience the peace that passes all understanding. Best gift you can give, the best gift you can receive. I claim and affirm this truth for each and every one of us. Namaste. VUCA, I know, right? Vision. What is it? Vision, unity, compassion, and attunement. All right. Time for our celebration of abundance. And thank you all for your continuing love offerings, tithes, and gifts. Thank you to our consistent givers. I hope you feel the impact that you have in this moment. I hope everybody feels the impact that you have, knowing that your gifts help us raise the consciousness, not just for ourselves and each other, but for the planet. And here are the ways that you can help support Unity of Stuart and the work we do here. And those are up already, Sophia, underneath the video. And let's affirm our prosperity prayer together. In a universe overflowing with the allness of God, all of the needs of Unity of Stuart and those we serve are instantly, constantly, and bountifully met. From every direction, known and unknown, expected and unexpected, our abundant good comes to us now. We are grateful. Amen. And our love offering blessing, for those of you who remember it, Sandy, start it, please. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give and receive always in love. Let's sing.
Situation
slides today, it's all on me, are out of order. I don't know where I was. All right, we have a couple more announcements. I am doing a forgiveness workshop in January. It's right around the corner, folks. If you would like to start your year off with a practice that will help you move through the rest of the year freer than you have ever been before, come and join me for this workshop. It's a 2.5-hour workshop on January 14th after church. You can read all that. You get lots of good stuff from forgiveness. So I invite you, there is a sign-up sheet out in the information table. When you're online, you can go on our website at unityofstuart.org, and you can sign up there under the events page. There is a link there. It will only be in person, however. If there are more people, if there's like a bunch of people that want an online one, I'll do a separate online one as well, so just let me know. January 14th. And Christmas candle lighters. There is an opportunity for 7 people to light the Christmas candles for our 7 gifts of Christmas on Christmas Eve. There is a sheet on the table in the foyer, so if you'd like to, it's a non-speaking part. So if you'd like to be a candle lighter on Christmas Eve, please sign up and I'll be in touch with you. Peace amidst chaos with a Z. Let's stand as we welcome in our kiddos.
1, 2, 3.
Walking in the light, in the light, in the light. You are walking in the light of God. All right, you may be seated. How's it going? Everybody getting ready for Christmas? Yeah. Anybody want anything? Want to share anything? All right, Lydia.
No.
Okay. Okay. Say your name, sweetie.
Wait, is this working?
It is.
Oh.
The pro already.
Interesting. So. I don't really know about like the book that we read because I didn't have my glasses, so Lydia can do that one. But I do know about like what we did after. So I remember after there was like a book read aloud thing or whatever. We like talked about it, and then we made our own stable. So yeah, and like we just put blankets with chairs and stuff, and it was really fun. And then we came back, and then, wait, I'm sorry. So there's like these capsules that are like made of glass and like plastic, and like you could put glitter in them, and then we did that, so yeah.
And why did we put glitter in capsules?
I'm sorry. Lydia, you can have this one.
So the glitter inside the bottle, so the bottle represents you, and the glitter inside represents your like inner light and inner spirit.
Anything else?
Oh, and we built our own stables.
So wait, when you say you built your own stables, what do you mean by that? Did you each get a hammer and some wood and some nails? How'd you do that?
So we took chairs and like just like Nova decorated hers with like little like bean bags and stuff, and then we like with blankets and chairs and like
and
stuff. And built the stable, and then we did it. We went inside it and meditated.
Oh, inside the stable of your heart, which is another metaphysical interpretation of the manger and the stable. It's our heart. When we go in there, Christ is born. Imagine that. Beautiful. All right, let us bless our kiddos with in song.
Reverend Jude,
Yes, ma'am.
I would like to say that the children are going to have their own song at the concert, at the Christmas Coffee
Are they
House
practicing
concert.
today, by any chance?
And the
All right.
band's not even backing them up. They have their own pianist down there.
All right, Cadence on the piano. All right, what's next? The prayer for protection and the peace song. Let's close with both of those together. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is. I am divine.